Hey, D2 football fans, this is Chuck Bittner, South Atlantic Conference columnist for D2Football.com. Getting ready for the opening night of D2 football, and wow, what a schedule we've got to get things started. The Thursday night slate has become very popular for kicking off the Division II season, but I can't remember in the last couple of years when we've had a schedule that was this loaded with so many interesting games. So just want to take a couple minutes to run through some of the highlights, some of the big games, some of the things I'm going to be watching for on opening night, and hopefully that'll give you a couple things to pay attention to and be on the lookout for. Before I do that, just want to remind everyone to get to the D2Football.com website, check out all the amazing original content that we have. Across all of the columnists that we have, I think we've got full coverage for every one of these games that's being played this weekend. So click on all those articles, check out the previews, check out everything that's been written by our group of columnists. Check out the top 25 poll. The All-America team was just released this week. And if you get an opportunity, get over to YouTube, check out our YouTube channel, subscribe. That would mean a lot to us. And if you have an hour on your hands, watch the top 25 preseason release video. That was a lot of fun to do and hopefully educational as well. So with that said, let me just kind of run through some of the highlights for the opening night. It starts early at 6 o'clock Eastern. Number 9 Slippery Rock is at Wayne State. That's a really tough way for the Rock to start off their season. Remember, they were a semifinalist in 2019, so they're coming into this season with high expectations and very highly ranked. But that's a really tough way to start, going on the road against a quality opponent, out of state, out of conference. That's a really tough way for them to start the season. So it really kind of starts there. At 7 o'clock Eastern, the game I'll be paying the most attention to when I can, West Georgia at Carson Newman. Carson Newman ranked number 18, West Georgia unranked, so a lot of pressure on Carson Newman. They really need that win to stay in the top 25 poll. If West Georgia could knock them off, it's a great opportunity for them possibly to get their name into the mix and shift a little bit of focus to them in the very stacked Gulf South. So I'll be watching that one very closely, and certainly from the SAC perspective, it's probably the biggest game of the weekend. So a lot to watch for there. Shepherd at Ohio Dominican, really big game in the Super Region 1. You got two teams representing conferences, different conferences in Super Region 1. So really important game there. It's one that could have the outcome of that kind of influence regional rankings later in the season. Shepherd is coming into that ranked number 19. So again, kind of as with Carson Newman, they probably need to win this game to stay in the top 25 rankings, but that's going to be a tough win to earn because Ohio Dominican is typically a very good defensive football team. Shepherd has Tyson Bagent as a Harlan Hill candidate, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. So really interesting matchup there and a great week one contest between two teams from different conferences. So excited about that one. Findlay at Ferris State coming up at 7:30 Eastern time. Ferris comes in as ranked number 3, and I think they're top 5 team in pretty much all of the preseason polls. So on paper, they're the better team. They should win this, but Findlay's a quality opponent. They're a good team. Have a really good quarterback and some offensive playmakers, and there's a little bit of familiarity there. There's some history. Remember, Findlay was in the GLIAC for 20 years, up until 2017. So there's some history and familiarity there. So not an easy way for Ferris to start off the season with a high ranking. In the MIAA, there's a couple of really big games. Pittsburgh State at number 11, Central Missouri. So there's a lot of pressure there on Central Missouri being the ranked team. They should be the better team. They should win that game, but we know that any given weekend, Pittsburgh State brings a lot to the table. So certainly a tough way for Central Missouri to get the season started against the Gorillas. Later on in the night, probably one of the better games of the evening, Northwest Missouri number 4 at Fort Hays. Now, Fort Hays isn't ranked. I had them in my preseason top 25. They're currently unranked in most of the major polls. So this is a really tough way for Northwest Missouri to start the season. The Bearcats were the number 1 team in the MIAA preseason, but Fort Hays was number 2. So that's a pretty interesting way to start the season for both of those teams. The last time they played in 2019, Northwest won in double overtime. So who knows? Maybe we'll get the same type of game. This time, which would be outstanding. Game of the night, 2 highly ranked teams. You got number 5, Texas A&M Commerce, and number 12, CSU Pueblo. So both of those teams were playoff teams in 2019. Obviously, both highly ranked coming into the season. So that's probably the spotlight game of the whole evening from a national perspective. And definitely a game for some bragging rights and supremacy in that region because both those teams are in the same region. So really, really big game there. And then later on in the evening, kind of closing out the top 25, you've got number 25, Angelo State, and number 23, Lindenwood. So very interesting matchup there. Lindenwood was a playoff team in 2019. So a great matchup out of conference for both of those teams. So that's a really interesting one to keep an eye on. And really, I mean, with the long layoff that we had from 2019 to now, I can get excited about any game in this schedule. They're all fabulous to me. So whatever you're watching, whatever you're going to be paying attention to, hope you enjoy it. If you're getting out to a game, hope you have great weather, and I hope you are going to get out to a game. Hope you enjoy. We've been waiting a long time for this. The players have really been waiting a long time to get out there and do it. So I'm excited. Hope you're as excited as I am. And enjoy your opening weekend. Again, get over to the d2football.com website. Check out all the original content that we have from all the columnists. Check out the top 25 poll, All-America team. And get over to our YouTube channel and watch the top 25 reveal before the games get started so you know what's going on in the top 25. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed this, and if it was helpful, if you enjoyed it, maybe we'll do the same thing a little bit later in the weekend to run through the Saturday slate. So enjoy your day.